Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this June the 2nd, 2023. I hope everybody had a great Friday out there. Hope everybody having a great Friday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay. In today's video, we'll talk about your forecast for Saturday and Sunday. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. Also, take a look at the watches, warnings, and advisories for your locations. Also take a look at the Storm Prediction Center overview and a few other products they offer. And also we're going to take a look at the newly formed tropical storm Arlene that formed earlier this afternoon in the tropics. Okay. If you're a new viewer and have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and we will try to go ahead and get the show on the road there, folks. And let's go ahead and dive on into the forecast now. As you can see, we got high pressure dominating around the Montreal, Toronto, Canada area and southeast Canada. We got shower and thunderstorm activity over eastern Maine through portion of New Hampshire, Vermont, down into portion of New York State, Pennsylvania, all the way back into portion of Ohio. Also around Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., to Virginia, to North Carolina, portions of central and northern South Carolina. High pressure dominating from southern Wisconsin, all the way through Illinois, through Kentucky, back into portion of Mississippi, Alabama, around the Atlanta, Georgia area. Also down in toward the Panhandle, Florida, a little bit in southern South Carolina, including the Outer Banks of North Carolina as well. We got some shower and thunderstorm activity over portions of southeast Georgia, down into the Florida and Florida Keys. More shower and thunderstorm activity over portions of Indiana and Michigan, also up here in portions of northern Wisconsin. Also, we have shower and thunderstorm activity over southern Canada, all the way back through Montana, back to Wyoming, also back to Idaho, portions of Nevada, Utah, back into northeast New Mexico, down into Texas and northern Mexico. Also through Louisiana, portion of Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota as well. And also portion of South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You can see this is your forecast for your Saturday. We still got dry high pressure dominating pretty much from the west coast, southwest Canada, through Seattle, Washington, through Oregon, all the way back into Nevada, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and the northern the Baja area of California, and also portions of Mexico. We still got some mixed precipitation just west of Colorado, Denver, Colorado, and Colorado State. Also over here in portions of northeast Utah, and also in the portion of western Wyoming and southern Montana. Also has some flash flooding possible in the red slashed area over the Panhandle of Texas. Alrighty, now we're gonna take a look at your Sunday forecast. We got dry high pressure still dominating southeast Canada, around Montreal, Canada, and also Toronto, Canada. Also in the portion of Maine through New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, down in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Also including the Panhandle of Florida, back into Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, portion of east Nebraska, eastern Kansas, back into Iowa, southeast Minnesota, southern Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio as well, Kentucky, and the West Virginia. We got some shower activity in the portion of Maine, back in the portion of New Hampshire, back to Boston and New York. Also some shower activity and thunderstorm activity over portion of northern Georgia, around the Atlanta area. Also back over to northern Alabama and portion of Tennessee and western North Carolina. Also down in southeast Georgia into Florida and the Florida Keys. Also we got more shower and thunderstorm activity over northern Michigan, back through northern Wisconsin, through much of Minnesota, southern Canada. Also back into North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, back down to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston area of Texas. Now we're down into Mexico, through New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, back to Idaho, into Montana. Got a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity over in portion of Nevada, back into California and central California. A little bit of mixed precipitation down here in central California, western Colorado, just west of Denver, and also a little bit down here in portions of Wyoming. Alright, now let's take a look at the weather radar across the nation here. You can see we got shower and thunderstorm activity over southeast Canada, back into Maine, all the way back into portions of Connecticut, and also into New York State, and also into Pennsylvania. Also, we have some shower and thunderstorm activity off the mid-Atlantic coast, off the southeast coast as well. South Carolina got some scattered activity reported of Cuba back into the northern Bahamas, also in the central and southern Florida. There's the remainder of what is Tropical Storm Arlene. Will continue to move to the south and get out of radar range. Also, we got some scattered activity around Puerto Rico. Got some scattered activity down here on the south side of the Hawaiian Islands there. Also got some scattered activity over portions of eastern portion of Alaska and southern portions. A little bit of snow mixed in there as well. The Guam radar is currently unavailable. We got more scattered activity also here, portions of northern Georgia through Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, southeast Texas through Arkansas, Missouri, all the way back up into Minnesota, including Wisconsin as well. Also in southern Canada, back into North Dakota, back in the got widespread showers over here, maybe a thunderstorm or two in Montana. Also in Idaho, also over here in Nevada, Utah, Colorado, and also into portions of New Mexico and Arizona. Got some snow mixed in with the rain over here in portions of western Colorado and northeast portions of Utah, and a little bit up here in Wyoming as well. This area here got some severe weather ongoing. Got a tornado watch ongoing for this cluster of shower and thunderstorm from Kansas all the way back into North Texas. Alright, now let's take a look at the watches, warnings, and advisories for your location across the nation. You can see we got some special weather statements for some shower and thunderstorm activity over portions of Vermont, New Hampshire, and a portion of New York State. Got some flood advisories up here around the Washington, D.C. area. Plus, we got a whole bunch of air quality alerts from that wildfire ongoing up in Canada, drifting the smoke down into the United States. We got some air quality alerts for western portion of New York State, also up here in portion of northeast Ohio, central Ohio, southwest Ohio, much of Illinois, central, south, and west portions of Michigan. Also central and south portion of Wisconsin, all of Illinois, eastern portion of Missouri, also a little bit down here in southwestern Tennessee. Also more air quality alerts in western North Carolina, down in the upstate South Carolina there as well. Also a little bit up in the Virginia there as well, and also some air quality alerts for southeast Texas, and again over here in portions of northeast Texas, and again over here in portions of southwest Arizona, and one county there in southern California. Alright, we got some coastal flood advisory for portions of the Carolinas. Yeah, down here in South Carolina, a little bit up in the Outer Banks area. Still got that flood watch in effect for southeast Florida. Tropical storm warning in effect for this area here in the red. We still got that flash flood watch in effect for northwestern Mississippi. Also over here in Oklahoma, northern portion of Texas. Still got a flood watches in effect for western Nebraska, much of Wyoming, and central and eastern portions of Montana. Got some hydro issues there as well in Montana. A little bit of flood watches in effect for portions of southeast Idaho. We still got that tornado watch down in effect for the Texas area and the Oklahoma area. In the West Texas, got a tornado warning for one county there. Got several severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing as well. We got a tornado watch also in effect for portions of eastern portions and southeast portions of New Mexico, with some severe thunderstorm warnings in that state as well. Flood advisory is also in the flood watch area too. Flood warnings are in the darker red looking. A lot of flash flooding going on in Texas, look like. Also, we got some flash flooding warnings also up in portions of Montana. Flood advisories over Montana as well. Also, flooding still continues in portions of North Dakota, South Dakota, Idaho, Nevada, back over into portions of New Mexico. A little bit of flooding going on in the mountains of California. Got a few special weather statements for North Dakota for a few shower and thunderstorms in that region. Alaska got a few special weather statements and a few flood advisories for you guys there as well. And also the Hawaii Chain Island looks a-okay. Alright, let's take a look at the Storm Prediction Center overview now. As you can see, we got some We got that marginal risk for severe weather up here in the northeastern United States from portion of New York all the way into Maine. General thunderstorms in the lighter green areas there. Scattered activity offshore down into Florida. Also scattered activity in the Midwest and back over toward the plains. Excuse me. Alright, the convective outlook, you can see there's that marginal risk. The general thunderstorms extending in Pennsylvania, the northern Maine, general thunderstorms over South Florida, Florida Keys, general thunderstorms all the way from Georgia, all the way back to Minnesota, Wisconsin, also back to North to South Dakota, Montana, Idaho, all the way back to California. Marginal risk still in effect for eastern Montana and northern portions of Wyoming. Also southeastern Wyoming through Nebraska, Kansas, eastern Colorado, down into New Mexico and Texas and Oklahoma. And you got that yellow area there and the orange looking area. That's the slight and enhanced risk for Texas and maybe southwestern Oklahoma. Alright, current watches in effect. A little bit, we got a couple counties here in Oklahoma. Also in the panhandle of Texas, southeastern portions of New Mexico, and the western portion of Texas and southwest Texas as well. The MDS discussion that's currently tornado watch may have to be issued. That's where that new watch is effect for that area. So maybe some tornado problems in your region there. The storm reports for today is as of the current recording. We have tornado reports of 6, wind reports 36, one was high, hail reports was 17, 5 was large. So it brought the total number of 59 to this current recording. So just want to let everybody know that the numbers will be on the increase, and expect more tornado report, hail and wind reports as well. Let's see, pretty much the tornado report was over here in portions of southeast Nebraska, also down in western Texas, and as well. The hail report was one in portions of Nebraska, one in New Mexico, and the rest of them was in the panhandle, western portion of Texas, right along the New Mexico border. And also the tornadoes also was down there as well. And the hail reports, like I said, that was the hail report, wind report, one in North Texas, and the rest of them in West Texas there as well. All right, let's take a look at the fire weather. We got some over West Texas, all the way in the southeastern portion of New Mexico. That's the elevated risk for wildfires. They can escape quickly, so you just be mindful of that. And finally, here's a look at the 4 p.m. Update on Tropical Storm Arlene. 4 p.m. That's where she was currently located. Will become a depression. Should be by sometime later tonight or early tomorrow morning. And then by Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. she'll be just a remnant low pressure just a low end depression with wind gusts maybe around 25 miles per hour or 20 miles per hour at most. All right, we're gonna take a look at some this is the hurricane map. This is where Arlene located. You can see it right here on the forecast map here. To advisory number 6. Miles per hour wind speeds moving to the south. Well, here it is. It came up. Thank you very much for coming up, computer. All Alright, Arlene moving south at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The center of Tropical Storm Arlene was located near latitude 26.4 north, longitude 85.8 west. Arlene is moving towards the south-southeast near 7 miles per hour. A slightly faster south-southeast motion is expected during the next day or two. Maximum sustained winds remain at 40 miles per hour with higher gusts. Arlene is expected to weaken by tonight, and it is forecasted to degenerate into a remnant low on Saturday. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 70 miles north of the center. The estimated minimum central pressure is 1,002 millibars or 29.59 inches. And west rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches and locally higher amounts up to 6 inches possible through Saturday across portions of central and southern Florida peninsula. The heavy rainfall could lead to isolated flash urban and small stream flooding impacts. The next complete advisory will be at 10 p.m. So just stay tuned to your local media. They will have more updates on that. All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. There was a few little things toward the end there didn't want to work right, but we finally did get it working, so I'm glad that worked out. Hope everybody has a great remainder of their Friday evening. Stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, and we'll catch you back in the next one.